All right. Hello and welcome everyone to Truly Live in our brand new Thursday night format, our new space. We're so excited, Yolanda and I. Oh my God, we decided to put on our uh, uh, WSSU red and white. So tonight's going to be tight, it's going to be exciting. We're happy. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back for episode 45 of Truly Live. All right.
me free. Love is enough. God's love is enough. I know His love, I know His love. Love is enough. It's a love that's freely given to me. Love is enough. And it's a special kind of love, say. Love is enough. No greater love have I met. Love is enough. Than to lay down His life for a friend. Love is enough. Now His love is inside me and you. Love is enough. So just spread love, just spread love. Love is enough. Everybody say.
Trying to find a way to escape. Trying to find a way to escape all the pressure I feel growing inside of me, because I'm far away from you, knowing that you are my source, so I gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. Gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way. Darkly, I see no light in front of me. Come to the conclusion that you are the eyes that see past all confusion to a place called sanity. You take my hand, I'm free. Lord, I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. Gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. Gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way. Lord, you said you'd never leave me, nor forsake me, and in all my ways to acknowledge you, and then you'll direct my path if I would keep my mind on you. You said you will keep me, you'll keep me, please keep me, please keep me, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. Gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord.
All right. Truly, the real you loves you because
Is love.
the real you is love. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for our pretty much our Thursday night launch. I was on last Thursday, but that was kind of like just fill in the blank. And but tonight is tonight that we are occupying this new space, this new place, these new beginnings, new attitude. You bring a new attitude to the
I've
show
got a
tonight.
new
She
attitude.
got a new attitude. We have just new beginnings. All things are new tonight on this Thursday, and we are live
We're all the way live.
and we are popping. Welcome, everyone. My name is Oliver Blue, and to my right or left, however you're looking at your screen, is my beautiful, gorgeous, creative, longtime friend and wife and partner, Yolanda.
Hello, Oliver. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
All right. And we're so excited, as you can see, because we are embarking on something new. We made a few changes. And so with change comes what? New experiences.
Okay.
Yes. And so thank you for joining us on Thursday. I hope you did not forget. Oh my God, you don't want to miss tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm so excited and giddy because I'm sitting beside my wife and we ain't been this close over a protracted period of time for about 2 weeks.
It's been a while,
It's been a while, man,
but we're getting closer
but we're getting closer just to be close.
to you.
Girl, for one moment, baby.
For the moment, baby.
For
For
only
the moment, baby. For the
sugar,
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 sugar.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Ooh,
Ooh.
yeah,
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 yeah. Okay, we're gonna stop. We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
stop. We're singing the first thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. And we like to say welcome to our uh, VIP patrons, Bob and Carol.
Hello, Bob and Carol.
Thank you for taking the front row seat. Also, we
Yes,
like to
yes.
thank Brenda, our Ontario, uh, let me see,
Neighbor.
neighbor,
Yes.
our Canadian friend.
Yes.
We thank Carol for being here with us. Who's a grand supporter of Truly Live. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much. And also taking a front row seat is another one of our patrons over in the big city of Charlotte, North Carolina, and her name is Naomi.
Hello,
Hello, Naomi. All
Naomi.
right.
Hi, Brenda. Same with me and mom. Oh, and Brenda's mom is there. Hello.
That would be Virginia.
Separates us since last Thursday. Oh, COVID. Okay.
Wow. Well, anyway,
Naomi, we're glad you made it.
yes, glad you made it. We're so excited. Boy, we look good in this red. Look at there.
You insisted on red, so I
Yeah,
have
anytime
to.
I get excited like this, I mean, I always fall back to the red. Red seems to blend in very nicely with the vibe of excitement.
Okay.
It kind of balances things out.
Okay.
Can you imagine being excited and wearing black?
Yes.
Okay.
It happens to be one of my favorite colors.
I know
It
it.
goes with
And
everything.
mine too. I like black.
All the colors are in there.
I like black and white and gold and I like them
I
all.
like them all.
Wow. Well, welcome, guys and gals, to tonight's episode 45 of True. Can you imagine? We've been together for 40. This is our 45th consecutive
Woohoo!
week. That means that we are embarking on what? 1 year.
We're coming up.
Yeah, because it's what, 52 weeks in a year? Wow. So in a few more weeks, we're going to be, yeah, it was the end of July, right? When we started, we're going to
Yes.
be actually have gone the full gamut around the world, the 52-week journey with Truly Live, and we made it.
Yes.
We made it.
Looks like we made it.
Yes, we made it. And we brought our friends with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And if this is your first time, or if you are a first time viewer, and Yolanda, let me go over here to Facebook. Since this was our first.
Bob and Carol said we are so excited too and feeling quite new. Ooh,
Oh,
exciting,
all right, I like
exciting. And
that.
look,
Yeah.
you got hand claps for it. Woohoo!
Yes. Well, let me see if we're showing up over here. Um,
I didn't know we were still doing that.
we're not,
Okay.
but since the night was different, we thought we just, you know, just let everyone know that we're on Thursdays now. But maybe that's yeah, that's the right one. It should be on.
Okay.
Maybe that's no. Maybe we're over here on our business channel. How about that?
Oh, wow.
Facebook channel. That's where we may be. Let me check on that one.
All right. So can I go ahead and do something while you're doing
You
that?
go ahead and greet the people. Yes, absolutely. You don't have to wait for me. You
I don't
never
have to
wait for me.
Oh, I never wait for you. All right, so we have we'll go ahead and do our special acknowledgments, right? So we've already given
Well,
our
do you-
shout out to our patrons.
What about for the folks that might be the first time? They don't
First-
know who we are.
First, oh, let's do that for our first time visitors. If you have not been in the house before, and if you've not been with us before, we are Oliver and Yolanda Blue. We're Oliver and Yolanda Blue, and we are the founders of Truly. It is a transformational coaching business. We thank you for joining with us tonight, where you can get some information, inspiration. We'll have some transformation and empowerment.
Yes.
We've been married for 31 years. We're parents and grandparents. We are honored to have close relationships with some phenomenal people, and we do interact with some absolutely outstanding people. We're certified transformational coaches and speakers. Our business is a personal and professional principle-centered development company where we help others to gain clarity about their true identity, which we call the real you. We share timeless content, universal principles, transformational practices, and we have community access with others who are committed to experiencing a deeper, more meaningful life. We'll also share some of our decades of experience from our journey together. We are a dance-loving, fun-loving couple, and we've leaned heavily into joy and laughter to get past some of our most challenging moments. Have you still not found that yet?
Yeah, I
here?
found it, and we're over on our business page, our
Okay.
Facebook business page, not the regular page. So that's cool.
Why we do what we do is because we want others to know that their life has deep meaning and good purpose. We help them to consider and pursue results that matter to them so that they live a focused life with purposed attention.
Yes.
Our passion is to help those who remain outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of a witness to the truth that is true always.
Right.
We love sharing a powerful message with a powerful people. And that would be you, because you all are powerful people.
If you didn't know it, we're here to let you know it.
Yes.
Very powerful people. Thank you, honey, for doing that.
Yes, sweetheart.
And so now we can move into our special acknowledgement
Okay.
segment of the show.
Okay.
And so we always like to acknowledge those that acknowledge us and support us. And so we give a huge shout out to all of our patrons. And we thank you so much for your continual support of this talk show and supporting,
Talk show.
yeah,
Okay.
your continuous support of Yolanda and I, and your belief in the value of the content that we create that is going out in these digital communities, and for the whole sole purpose of helping others to discover their true identity, which we call the
real you.
the real you, and to help humanity to get clarity around the life that they would love to live.
Love to live.
We all desire different results, and so we are here to help you by sharing with you transformational principles that are proven, repeatable, and they're what? They're universal, meaning that they're not respected of person.
All right.
All right. And so thank you, patrons, for being here. We also like to recognize all those June babies. We are in the month of June, and especially those who are celebrating a birthday this week. So we say happy birthday to those that are
Happy
celebrating.
birthday.
What's the zodiac sign for the June babies? Do you know?
Oh.
If you know what the zodiac sign for the June babies, just put it in the chat. I'm not aware. We don't keep up with that. That's information we don't keep in store, do we?
No.
So if you know what the zodiac sign is for the June babies, should be two different signs, right? Put it in the chat for us. We just like to acknowledge that.
So we're acknowledging people that have had a birthday this week.
This week
or an anniversary.
Or an anniversary,
or
absolutely.
retirement or anything that you're celebrating.
Absolutely.
We love to celebrate.
And speaking of celebration, we like to congratulate all those members of the class of 2022 who recently or in the next few days will be graduating from high school. All our high school graduates, class of 2022, we salute you. And also to those who are moving from all the different levels and graduating from their different levels. Even we'll start with those moving from nursery to kindergarten. Hey, you got to give them a shout out. Those who are moving from nursery to kindergarten, from kindergarten to what? Elementary school. Those who are graduating from elementary school and moving over to what they call middle school. And then finally, those that are moving from middle school to high school, we salute you also. What an accomplishment on your part. Like they say in Archie Bunker's old shows. Is it moving on up? Is that Archie Bunker?
No,
who was that?
That was
To
that
the
was
top.
the Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons, yes.
Jeffersons.
Yes, moving on up.
Wow.
So we salute all the children. Wow. Would you like to take this next one or you want me to do it?
Let's see. I can do that one. Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors, woohoo, and the Boston Celtics for making it to the NBA Finals. They've already had games number
one, two, and three.
And
the Celtics are up 2-1 in the series. And the next game is Friday night. And I'm predicting a win for the Warriors. What about you?
Oh, wow. Look at you. Okay.
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 Well, I don't have no skin in the game. I do like the Warriors.
I like the Warriors.
But I congratulate all the players on both teams. What a great accomplishment. They had to really work hard to get there.
Yes.
Oh, Brenda say deluxe apartment.
That's right. That's the deluxe apartment.
Yeah, the deluxe apartment in the sky.
sky.
All right. Also want to acknowledge one of our super patrons, and her name is Sheila Johnson, and she is a Ram. Sheila, you need to go grab some of your Ram paraphernalia and put it on tonight. We're celebrating tonight in this new space. We're declaring it a space of red and white. Okay. Yes. Standing for what? No, I ain't gonna say that.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, Sheila says Gemini. So you got the
Gemini.
Whose birthdays run from May 21st to June 20th. And also the Cancer, yes, which is from June 21st to July the 20th. So we're going to have Geminis and Cancers celebrating in the month of June.
Where did that come from?
We
don't generally even do zodiac, which is why
no, we don't. But I mean, hey, look, it's all part of the experience of life. So we acknowledge it. We don't put too much weight into it. Okay. But we acknowledge it. And for those who do. And you'll do the next one. You want me to do it?
Well, okay.
How about I'm trying to get you involved here.
Oh, he's trying to get me involved. All right, people. You told me to look up something. That's what I was doing. Okay. Congratulations to Rafael Nadal for winning his 14th French Open title and his 22nd Grand Slam tournament.
All right. Good
Way to go, Nadal.
Way to go, Nadal.
We are tennis fans. Our children played tennis when they were little from elementary school through
Yes.
high school, and
Yes.
then club tennis once they got into college. So
Yes.
we're big tennis fans.
And we also like to
And Nadal is one of my
yes,
favorites.
Nadal
So
is one of our favorites. We also like to congratulate Iga Swiatek.
ooh,
Did I say it right?
I have
Iga Swiatek, I believe that's the way you pronounce it, for winning the women's French Open title. And also like to acknowledge the runner-up, one of our favorite players, up-and-coming players, American player.
she's not up and coming. She's there.
She's there.
Yeah.
She her name is Coco Golf, and Coco reached the final of. This is the first time she reached the final of a Grand Slam. So she is right on the verge of winning her first Grand Slam
Yeah.
tournament. So
She's an exciting American player
yes,
and tennis player, and so we root for you, Coco. Yes,
yeah,
we do.
we root for Canadian tennis players too,
We
don't
do.
we?
We listen. We like several of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
What's Justin's favorite is from Canada. What is his name?
See, he likes Sissy Pass.
Is he from Canada?
He's not from
What's the
Canada.
one from Canada?
Oh boy. So you put me on the spot. I don't know.
Oh, I thought there was one he was from Canada he liked.
I'm not really certain about that.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we salute because hey, look, we're a global community here. Besides, we got some of our best friends live in Canada, so we're not going to shun them.
No.
No, this is one big red and white happy party tonight. And Sheila says, laugh out loud. She's not
Yeah.
prepared with her red and white paraphernalia. She
Oh,
said another
no.
night.
Another
Well, maybe
night.
one night we'll do college night.
Oh, yeah.
Just college, no matter whether it's U.S. or Canada or any country. We'll just do college night
Okay, we'll
and
plan
just put something on from your college, and maybe we'll bring you on the live broadcast if you got something you want to share from your college. You want to
wow.
share your college. We just send you the link and we'll bring them on stage with
Oh
us.
wow. Okay.
We just
here
have
we
a
go.
big old college party. What do you think?
All right. Here we go.
So, and then finally, we like to acknowledge my mother, which I know she's here. Hello, Mom.
Hi, Mom
Welcome to
Blue.
Thursday nights.
Hello, hello,
I called
hello.
her 30 minutes before the program because she was thinking Friday. I say, Mama, we on
Oh.
tonight. She said, yeah, nice Thursday. And I said, yeah. She said, I'm glad you called me because I would have been on tomorrow night looking for
Oh
y'all.
wow.
But anyway, thank you, Mom. We love you so much. You are one of our biggest cheerleaders, one of our biggest supporters. And we thank you.
And one of our biggest inspirations too.
And biggest inspiration. And this is a special year for my mom because she's
Yes.
going to be celebrating a huge accomplishment in a few months. And it's going to be on and popping.
Yes.
Yes. And also like to acknowledge Yolanda's dad, Papa. Man, we thank you. Thank you, Papa, for this country girl right here, this farm girl. Without this farm girl, Truly Live wouldn't be what it is.
And thank you all who had great who sent out your warm wishes for my dad. He was in your prayers and thoughts.
Yes.
And we appreciate that he came through his surgery without any complication, and he is mending well.
Yeah, and if you're a patron, you know you have a little insight on Yolanda and I. We've been challenged the last 2 weeks. I spent 5 days in New Mexico, and it didn't set with me very well.
It was just different.
It was different. The environment was different, and it created a challenge in me. Even tonight, I'm still trying to get past the cough. So if I cough during the broadcast, please forgive me. But much better than I was 2 weeks ago. And Yolanda also is much better than she was 2 weeks ago.
Yay.
And so we all had a season of rest, right?
Yes.
Rest and relaxation.
Yes.
But now we are back.
I took very good care of myself.
She
I gave myself some of the care that I give to other people.
Oh
So
my
it was
goodness.
great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was like, wow, those people get some really good care.
Yeah. And you learned something coming out of that too. And I'm going to remind you of that.
Yes, I did.
That you must put first things first.
Yes. Yes. And I know this.
Yes. So with all of that said, we are so happy and we are so grateful. We're full of gratitude tonight. If you can notice, we're so grateful that we're occupying this time and this space not just this time and space tonight, but this time and space in the evolution of life. This is a time in history that has never been before, and we were born
And
for
will never be again.
and never be again.
Mhm.
And this is the future that was calling us, and we have prepared ourselves for this future, and so we're here with you.
This is the moment
This is the
that was
moment
calling
that was
us.
this is the moment that was calling us, and we said yes to the moment. And then one of our goals here is to help everyone, whoever will, to say yes to their moment and their moments, because there is something in, seeking to emerge in your life, and it is beautiful, and we want to see it.
Beautiful.
We want to see the best expression of you,
Yes.
because it is the best expression of you. Oh my God. It is the best expression of you that shines in our heart, and we want to see it. We want to see it. Right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we're here to help.
Okay, open your eyes. You can't see with your eyes closed.
Hey, but like I say, this show Truly Live is about what? Information and inspiration. So when I get inspired, I close my eyes.
So I noticed. I just saw that.
And it's about transformation, meaning we desire different experiences. Our nature, it is in our nature to grow and expand, right? To be in an expansive place. And so to expand, it's like going on a long journey
Yes.
of just continuous different experience. And Carol and Bob said they heard the call also.
All
I
right.
believe Brenda
Yes.
heard the call too.
Yes.
I believe Sheila heard the call too.
I believe so.
I believe that Naomi heard the call too.
Absolutely.
And Diane heard the call too.
And Diane
And
heard
Justin
it.
heard the call
Yes.
too. And Brenda heard the call too.
And Alice.
And Alice heard the call too.
Yes.
And all the others heard this call.
And Caesar and Sheila.
Cecil, Sheila heard the call. And all the multitude that was waiting on us, you and I, to show up. It says that when the student is ready, what?
The teacher will
The
appear.
teacher will appear, and we have appeared as temporary guides and temporary teachers.
So if you have something that you would like to share that you're grateful for
yes.
tonight, we like to give you the opportunity. We'd like to read that out here, and let's all set the atmosphere.
Yes, let's
for-
just set the atmosphere for
Yes.
gratitude, because gratitude is what moves energy.
Yes. Brenda said that we guys allow all of them to shine. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Brenda.
And Mom.
Yes.
And Mom.
Thank you, Brenda. Brenda, be on the lookout too.
Oh yeah.
We sent something airborne or float your way, so please be on the lookout.
It's making its way.
It's
to
making its
you.
way to you, and it's going to bring a big smile to your face. It gave us joy to send it. Yes, absolutely. And so what is gratitude? Nothing more than simple thankfulness and appreciation and kindness. And we just bathe this live show tonight with that. And we bathe your lives with it.
Gratitude is an energetic and vibratory field that shifts everything to the present moment.
Everything.
Everything.
Absolutely everything. Thank you so much.
Yes. Bob and Carol. Oh, so let's get this on here. Bob and Carol said, we are grateful for all of you here tonight. We're grateful for them too.
Yes.
Thank you, Bob and Carol. And let's see. Brenda said she's excited. And Sheila Johnson said, indeed, I heard the call and challenge and change any thought that keeps me from holding a higher vision of myself. Absolutely, Sheila. Absolutely. I agree.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we're going to move on to our next segment, which is our encouragement an inspirational quote for tonight, and this will help us to kind of move into uh, the life lesson segment. And tonight's quote, let me see if I can't put it up on the screen, Yolanda. What if I put that up on the screen?
Well, let's see.
Let's see if I can do that and keep us there. Let me see. No, maybe like that, right? And let's see, can I get to my quote? There it is. How about that? Isn't it?
Okay.
You want to do the quote for us tonight?
So tonight's quote is a John Maxwell quote.
Yes, John
And
Maxwell.
it says, to grow yourself, you must know yourself. To grow yourself, you must know yourself.
Wow, to grow yourself, you must know yourself. You like that?
I do.
And that is so true. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
That is so true. Growth starts with the what? Knowing of ourself.
Yes.
Everything starts with you. You know, in baseball, in order to get to what? Home plate, you got to first get to what?
First base.
You got it to first base.
Yeah.
And first things have to be what? First things.
Yes.
And first thing starts with you. And as we mature on our journey here, we have to. What's he say? Carol said, "Grow what? Want to put that up?
Grow, grow, baby, grow through wisdom.
Grow, baby, grow through
Absolutely.
wisdom." Yes.
Grow, baby, grow. I love it.
Yes. So growth starts with you. It starts with ourselves.
Okay.
And in order to do that, we must know ourselves, like the great sage of many years ago when he says, "Know thyself." And here at Truly Live, we put a tremendous amount of of emphasis on the knowing of the self. In fact, our mantra, the real you, what loves you, is all about the knowing of the self, or which we call what? Real
The
you.
real you.
We call the real you. And so because that is getting to first base. You can't get to second or third or home plate without getting to first. And first thing has to be with yourself. So we have to look inwardly. We have to start with us. And so one of the focus of this show is to help our audience to come to know the real you, or to know thyself, by turning inward and doing the inner work, because it takes a little work. It takes a little study to come to know yourself. That has to be an intention, there has to be a desire. And that intention and that is desire really is built within us. And when I say it's built within us, I mean, even from the time that I was a kid, I was a child, I was young. I was always inquisitive about this awareness or this consciousness that I had. I knew I was, for one thing, and it's with all of us, one thing that I've always been certain of is that of being conscious. In other words, I've always been certain in all of us. This is one thing that all of us are certain of, that we exist, that we are conscious, that we are aware. And so that in and of itself created an inquisitive instinct, desire to want to come to know what that is all about, to know thyself. And so it's built in us. It's built within our nature to know thyself, because it is in the knowing of the self that makes everything else have purpose, to make sense, and to give us the lasting peace that we're all looking for. because we all
Yes.
desire peace. We all
And
desire the same thing.
Naomi stated it correctly. She said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of
It
wisdom."
is the
Yes, it
beginning of
is.
wisdom. And what
Yes,
is
it
wisdom?
is.
Wisdom is the correct use of what? Knowledge,
Of
of accurate
information.
knowledge.
Yes.
In this case, revealed knowledge. Knowledge from on high, knowledge that is divine,
Yes.
knowledge that is what unalterable and unchangeable. And it's just the knowledge of ourself that we need to know. So, with that said, we're going to move into our life lesson for tonight. And tonight we're going to uh, talk about, or we're going to have conversation around a quote,
You said this is episode 42?
episode 45.
45. Wow.
Yes. So tonight we're going to have our conversation around, or our truly life lesson around the idea of what are life lessons, or what are why are life lessons so important? How do they come about? Who determines what lessons that we need to what
Learn.
that we need to learn?
Okay.
And so tonight, I'm going to glean from a post that I made earlier this week um, on some of my social media platforms, and you got a copy of that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I want to use what I said earlier this week because this was really resonating on my heart. And then as Yolanda and I just had conversation about this week's show, we felt like there were some things here that we wanted to share and further expound on what I said here so that we all can benefit from what appear to be speaking to our hearts, right? And so some of you are friends with me out there and may have read this, but we're going to read it tonight. In fact, I can put it up on the screen too. You want to do that?
Okay.
We'll put it up on the screen as we read it. So let me.
Just move ahead.
All right, let's do that, and then we'll just move ahead. Okay. So, let me go back. I actually used this picture. I actually used this picture in this post that I made this week. And, a lot of times I'm just using pictures because, just to get people attention. A lot of times people, if you just put text out there, people won't read it. But if you put a picture out, at least they'll pause, say, "Oh, that's someone," and then maybe they'll read the content. But the content is what I'm sharing. But this picture kind of is like a metaphor for the message that we're trying to say. Is that if you look here, this is me back in high school in 1977.
It's
1977.
before I knew you. So.
Yeah, way before I knew you, baby.
Yeah.
But this is me, y'all, in 1977.
He's the shorter guy.
I'm the shorter guy. I'm the little runt. But in this picture, there are a lot of lessons. And through this experience that I had in this particular setting right here, I learned a lot of things. And as you can see, the guy that's guarding me, he's at least 6 or 7 inches taller than I am. I've always had gone up against the giants.
Okay.
I always welcome the challenge.
Okay. Carol said, "Go, Oliver."
And look, this was back in the day when they didn't have weight rooms.
Yo, right.
They didn't have weight rooms. I forgot what I said this morning. I think I responded to Sue. I said they didn't have weight rooms. Uh, uh, we didn't have cell phones,
No.
and there was no social media platforms to comment on these things. And so this is a blast from the past, and
And Oliver likes reliving his
and
glory days.
and
He
I
does.
like revisiting them so that I
Okay,
can have the experience based on the awareness and the consciousness that I have now.
Okay.
And it makes it just so much better.
Which is the only thing that we can do about our past.
Which is the
anyway.
only thing that you
Yeah.
can do about your past is to you can refilter it through your current awareness so you can have the experience of a lifetime.
Okay, move ahead. Move along.
And so we're going to move along.
Who's that guarding you?
Oh, actually, that was Eric Sleepy Floyd
That's what I thought.
that was guarding me right there. And this was in Raleigh, at the Raleigh Broughton High School, the semifinals of the state basketball tournament in 1977.
Okay.
And
Sleepy
it was
Floyd.
the highlight or the pinnacle of my basketball career.
Sheila said looked like a huge crowd that game.
It was
Yeah,
a
it was. It
huge
was a
crowd.
big
And you notice everybody was focusing on us.
Yes, everyone was. Well, they were watching the ball.
They was watching the ball,
Yeah,
right?
which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So now you see where I get my love for the microphone from.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
But anyway, just kidding. But what
He's
we
not kidding, guys. He does love the microphone.
yeah, but what we really wanted to get to is the quote that I made earlier this week. You want to read it?
Okay.
Go ahead, bud.
In life, there are certain things we surely must learn. We don't get to choose the lessons nor the curriculum. We only get to choose when we will decide to learn them. We do not choose our classrooms, and some of our classrooms choose us.
We do choose our class.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Says-
We do choose our classrooms, and some of our classrooms choose us. We do choose our classrooms. Okay.
I'm going to expound on that.
Okay, you expound on
But
that.
you like to read through the whole thing first. before I
Yes,
comment,
which is yes. Okay.
which is challenging for me.
Yes,
So,
it
all right,
is.
so go to the next bullet point.
Okay. I call Oliver calls this learning inner work of the heart, where we come to discover our true self. And then he poses the question, how long will we postpone what is inevitable? The real you awaits your attention.
Wow. That's a whole lot right there. That might take 2 episodes. But I'm going to try to get through and expand on that because I think it's what's in the content here is very important for us to embrace. Very, 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 very important for us to embrace, especially in the time that we're in right now.
Yes.
And so we go back to it. We say, in life, there are certain things that we surely must learn, and none of us are exempt from those things. I don't think.
No.
This is my experience. That life, in and of itself, in the experience of life, in and of itself, life is all about it's all about exposing or sharing the nature of life. And so in that sharing is the unfolding. And so in that unfolding, your life, you look at your life, you look at the timeline of your life, all of us, just think about it. You have been unfolding for as many years, in an incarnate body as you've been here. And in that time frame, there are certain things that you have learned, and there's certain things that you have learned that all of us have had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it may have been in a different arena, which is what I call classroom. And I said that we don't get to choose the lessons nor the curriculum that we have to learn. I think it's already pre-programmed in us, that which we are seeking to know. That is why we used that quote earlier, that to grow is to know thyself. And so we don't get to choose what those lessons or the curriculums of those lessons are. But what we do get to choose is when we decide to learn it. That means, like, look at your timeline. I look at my timeline. It was like when I turned 20, life began to make demands on me.
Only at 20?
Well, 20, I say 20 because I was away from home.
You had been away from home.
And had been away from home. But I just used that number. Okay. I used 10, 20. I think at 5-year-olds, I think when I turned 5, something happened to me where life came to me and said to me, this is who you are. And what life said to me at age 5, that this is who you are and I'm here to help you. It was like I became aware of this internal teacher within me. And in that moment, I was afraid of that and I resisted that because I had been so conditioned in the first 5 years of my life by the environment, the mentoring that I had, that what I heard was so contrary to my conditioning, I was afraid of it.
Okay.
And so at age 10, at age 18, when I went off to college, age 20, when I was in the throes of college.
Well, I hope that you had I hope that life was speaking to you at age 16 because that's when you started driving a car.
It was
And I
speaking.
really hope that you were paying attention then.
It was speaking to me.
Okay, all right.
And if and I can look back and I can remember when I turned 30, it was like life was making new demands on me, whether I was prepared for them or not, whether I had learned what the lessons or not. It was making the demands. At age 40, something happened. It's like life was making more demands on me. 50, more demands. 60, more demands. And it was at some point in my life, um, and it was at the time period that we met, that I had made a I had made a decision that I wanted to learn what it was all about. I finally yielded and said, I want to know the truth. And I began really, you're talking about my education. My education really began then when I began to uh, seek the knowing of myself.
So before the two of us got together, I don't think you did a lot of investigating.
I did not do
I-
a
so
lot.
I-
I did not do a lot of investigation or introspection, but
Yeah.
I began to hear the. I began to hear or feel the pull to turn inwardly, and eventually I yielded to it because I and a lot of that
you used
happened.
to say all the time. You used to say to me all the time, Yolanda, everything is not science. And I kept
Yes.
saying, oh, everything is science because everything is energy. And I
Absolutely.
was like, and you should
Right.
investigate this.
Right. And then I remember, I just remember when I said yes to that same voice that spoke to me at age 5, that had been with me all the time, and I said yes. I desire to know the truth.
Mhm.
So I yielded to that, and that's when the time period in my life we got together, and so we started our journey because you were or had already made that decision yourself that you were willing, you wanted to know what the truth is, and we were willing to give up everything we knew in order to know what the truth is.
Yes.
And so we came together wanting to fulfill that purpose together. That was really the basis for us coming together, right?
And I had been inquisitive the entire time.
Yes.
I mean, I was
And-
cutting things open.
Right.
And
A lot of that came through your
investigating.
training too,
Yeah.
because you were science minded from day one, and I think you really got influenced by your experience on the farm, and so you was more open to the integration of the natural
Mhm.
along with that, with your invisible capacities.
Well, I could certainly see that there were laws that were working. There were things that seemed to happen, even without me understanding.
Even
There were
without your
things
understanding.
that were happening.
Right.
And so my dad spent quite a bit of time explaining to us
Right.
about how things grow and the process of that.
Right.
And then he was a hunter, and we used to fish.
Right.
And I was just quite fascinated with
Quite
all of those,
fascinated.
with the internal organs and all
You
this.
you were fascinated with nature, and
I
you
was
began to
very-
see
Very
the
fascinated.
divine within the physical creation.
Yes.
There's a scripture that says that
God can be seen in
that
all of his creation.
that the creator has placed himself in all creation.
Yes. Yeah.
So everything physical can be utilized in order to teach us, to show us, to look beyond what is physical to see the essence of it, the nature of it, and to see our oneness with it, right?
Mhm.
And so when I say that you don't get to choose, we don't get to choose the lesson nor the curriculum, but we do get to choose when we decide to learn it. If you look at your own life, your own timeline, you can pinpoint the time in your life when you decided to learn certain things, and a lot of it came out of the pain of our resistance from learning them at the time or at the natural evolution of when we should have learned things. And you guys know what I mean. I mean, especially if you got children, especially if you got your an awareness of your own life. There were just times where even in grade school, when you did not learn, when you tried to skip some of the stages of learning, like basic math or basic reading and writing, and then when you got into higher grades, if you kind of like just played around with it and didn't really understand the fundamental foundation, and you needed it, so when you went to the geometry class or the trigonometry class or the algebra class, and you did not master the uh, adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division, then the algebra made a demand on you knowing that, even though you didn't know it.
Yes.
See, so you did not get to choose the curriculum. You did not get to choose what lessons you had to learn. You only got to choose when you decided to what to
To learn
decided to
it.
learn it. And for a lot of us, a lot of us, we have, we can identify the things that we resisted and did not want to learn. Only now at this stage in life that we're open to learn what everything,
Everything.
because we understand what life doesn't wait for us.
No.
Life waits for no one. And so uh, I remember when I graduated from college, and I still see this today. And the first 2 or 3 years, maybe the first like 5 or 6 years after I got out of college, I wasn't into reading books, or I wasn't into expanding my, I thought education was over, and I wasn't into reading and those type of things. I was just into developing a life. And
You just wanted to live a little.
I just wanted to live a little, I guess. But lo and behold,
Well, especially since you had been waiting
yes,
all of your life to
yes,
get to the point that you could just live life.
yes. And lo and behold, there came a time, maybe 6, 7 years later, when all I wanted to do was learn. All I wanted to do was open myself up and even go back and learn those things that I should have learned. And
Do you guys remember how long it took us to get to 16? Those were the milestones, because at 16 we were going to be able to drive cars. I mean, we got to have learner's permits at 15 and a half.
right,
But we could actually drive on our own by the age of 16. So it seems like it just took us forever to get to 16. And then it seemed like it was forever for us to get to 18. And for us, 18, there were all kinds of things that happened at 18, because we could do things at 18 that you have to be 21 to do now, to be able to do now. So it took a long time to get to 18. And then it just seemed like from 18 to 21, when we would literally be, I mean, we would officially be an adult. It seemed like it took, not just 3 years. It seemed like it took the full 21 years to
Yes.
get to 21. Do you remember that? It
absolutely,
just seemed like it was forever.
absolutely. Well, Sheila has a question.
Oh, hello, my dear. Hello, darling.
Yes, this
My
is
best
this is
friend.
my sister in love. Sheila says, you mentioned pain. Is that when lessons occur, or other memorable moments that make impact in your life?
Mhm.
Well, I would say that is not when lessons occur, but pain generally is generally a signal or indicator that the pain is there because we lack some awareness, or we lack some knowledge. And so pain is generally an indicator that there's something that we don't know, or something that we're not aware of, that is what creating the pain. And a lot of that pain comes out of not knowing or not what having a grip on the lessons that we should have learned up until that point. And that's where a lot of the anxiety comes in our life. And when we say anxiety, anxiety is no more than when we it no more than a way to cope with not knowing, right? And so the way we cope with not knowing in many cases, things that we should already have known. Maybe we have rejected it, or maybe we weren't exposed to it. So some of our not knowing because we haven't been exposed to it. A lot of our not knowing has come from being conditioned with false or misinformation.
Mhm.
And so what happens is we create what is called anxiety, which is a coping mechanism for not knowing. And that anxiety generally will evolve into some type of pain or suffering.
Well, suffer contrary to what a lot of people believe, suffering is a choice.
It is a choice.
Suffering is a choice. And suffering generally comes about because we are wishing, hoping, praying, resisting something that is. We're wanting it to be, we're wishing it to be different.
Or rejecting.
Rejecting it instead of accepting what is,
Right.
not meaning that we are agreeing with it, but you acknowledge that that is what it is, and then you ask yourself some questions.
Right.
Is this what I want?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so this is all part of the journey or the evolution of maturity, of growing up. But it really all points us again, all these elements, anxiety, pain, suffering, it they can be used to point us within, to turn us within, because really what's missing here is a lack of awareness or a lack of consciousness. And that can be in many different forms, by having a lack of information or having the wrong information, or again having uh, uh, being afraid to open yourself up
Yes.
to change, open yourself up to the possibility that what we know is not adding to our life.
Yes.
And so,
In a very elementary way, if we are willing to understand,
right,
we will see that pain generally comes because we have ignored.
right,
So think about it. I'm going to use the analogy of a test in school. If I have prepared for the test in school, then there's no pain.
There's no pain.
Because I'm prepared, I'm ready.
There's no anxiety.
There's no anxiety.
There's no fear.
Yes, right. Because
Right.
I prepared.
Because you have learned the lesson when you were supposed
Yes,
to,
when I was supposed
when
to
it
learn.
was beneficial for you to
Yes.
learn it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because there is no judgment for not learning things because we all come through a path and there's many things there. But ultimately we get to a point in our life where we come to understand that we are responsible for our life. That means that we're responsible even for the negative experiences that we've had in the sense that we can overcome that, we can transcend that by what in this moment opening ourselves up to expand our awareness and our consciousness, right? And that's where the knowing of the self comes in. That's where the opening up. We open up to the reality of our unlimited self, what we call the real you that loves you. Start to understand our nature, which is love. Understand, that everything that we desire is already intrinsic within us, so that we stop looking outside of ourselves or blaming things outside of ourselves for our current condition.
Yes.
So it brings about this level of responsibility, to where we begin to take responsibility for our life. And when you take responsibility for your life, you open yourself up for all of life lessons.
Yes.
You become like an open flower.
And a lot of times when we learn the lessons, there are now we all learn and can learn in different ways, but there are certain things it's sort of like a progression. And so when we learn the information that we're supposed to learn at the time that we're supposed to learn it, then we don't generally have to encounter so much pain and suffering. So back to the analogy, if I have studied for the science test, and if I've had a good teacher, then the teacher has been, presenting this information, and then the teacher gives us clues. The teacher's like, read this chapter, do this homework,
Right. And
so you practice
and you've done the
this.
practice.
And so
Right.
so when you do the homework, that's the practice. And generally, a lot of times the teacher will even say, okay, here's a study guide for what you should be studying for this test. And if I do that, then I'm going to perform well on the test. If I have not studied and if I have not prepared, then my outcome is going to be different. There could be a lot of pain
Yes.
when because I've not done what I was supposed to do at the time that I'm supposed to do it.
Absolutely. So it says we only get to choose when we decide to learn them. And the more we delay, the more anxiety we experience, or the more pain we will experience. And then the note here says we also do get to choose our classrooms. And some of our classroom chooses us. When we say classroom, for instance, your biggest classroom is your family, your immediate family, or the family that you create or make. Another classroom is, your chosen place of education. Like I chose to go to Winston-Salem State University. I chose that. See, I got to choose that classroom, but I didn't get to choose the lessons or the curriculum that I had to take while there. Another classroom you choose is where you work, your career, your community, where you live. You get to choose the classroom, maybe where your faith community, where you worship. So we get to choose again. Uh, we get to choose when we decide to learn things, and we also, in some cases, get to choose the environment in which we learn them, which we call classrooms. All your relationships, if
All
you're
relationships.
all relationships, whether you're married or you have children or whatever, all your
You
relationships,
have a boss or you are a boss.
right? All your relationships is a classroom. In other words, the content of your classroom or the activities of your life is part of the curriculum that to help you learn the things that uh, that I think universally we're all here to learn. And next week we're going to get into what some of those lessons are. We're not going to get into them this week because we're just kind of laying the groundwork for that.
So Sheila has posted another question, and I know Sheila does this for our benefit.
Absolutely. Thank
She
you,
said,
Sheila.
what about the subconscious programmed a certain way? What can we do to untangle it and be open to accept us as we are to avoid the suffering?
That's a great question,
Yes, it is.
Sheila.
Thank you,
And you
Sheila.
said, what about the subconscious? And my response to that would be, what about the subconscious? I'm just joking. But yes, subconscious, and what Sheila is talking about is that which we're not conscious of, but that is heavily influencing our decisions.
We call those
We
paradigms.
call those paradigms. So she's saying, what about our paradigm? Paradigms are no more than habits, thought habits, perception habits, habits in our action that influence our actions, that control our decisions. That's what she means.
So that's the progression. So we have thoughts.
Yes.
These thoughts, whether we have been taught these thoughts or we have accepted these
Someone
thoughts,
else,
on
our own,
so
right? It's called conditioning.
Yeah, it's conditioning. So we can either have been taught this, or this is something that we could have concluded as a result of the interactions that we've been
Right.
having. So we have thoughts. those thoughts now begin to influence our decisions.
Yes.
Okay. The decisions actually begin to influence, our
Our
actions.
action.
So we move on those thoughts with decisions, and then we have actions. And then from those actions,
We get results.
we get results.
And
And sometimes those results are
right.
consequences.
Right.
Well, let's say this. There are consequences for every
Right.
decision.
Sometimes those results are pain.
Yeah.
Sometimes those results are suffering, and there is pain and suffering because those paradigms that we fight for, that we'll defend for, those paradigms, those habits that don't serve our better interests, but we have developed them some kind of way. And they have to be at some point recognized.
Yes.
Like Sheila says here, what can we do to untangle it and to open it step by step? But we'll get into that next week when we start talking about some of the specific lessons that we universally surely have to learn. But
some of those subconscious um some of those subconscious patterns that we
Right.
have actually manifests itself in that we're warring. We're at war with what we have been doing, and then and as a result of what we believe, and then what we intrinsically know that is
Right.
not working for our good. We know it's not working for us, but
Absolutely.
yet we will continue to do,
right.
though, we will still continue
Right.
to do those things knowing that it's not good
Right.
for us.
And the pain of that and the suffering of that in many cases is what can be used. Wisdom uses it.
Yes.
The spirit uses it. The universe uses it to help us turn within. Because where the pain is also where the solution is.
Not that wisdom or the universe or God or the creator
It's
not
responsible.
that
Right.
he needs that
Doesn't need
energy source needs anything to teach us. No,
doesn't need the pain.
what
Right.
happens is it is in those experiences that we can learn.
Absolutely.
So all of those subconscious programmed paradigms can be used.
They're
all
useful
can be used to for us
as
to
a
learn
part
the lessons
of the lesson. That's right.
that
Not
we need to learn.
not that the universe sends negative lessons
No.
to us, because there's a thought out there, especially in religious communities, that the divine chastens us or uses pain to teach us
To
and
get
all
our
that,
attention.
to get our attention, which is misinformation. God is love, and in God and in love there is no there is no darkness. There is no need. Love doesn't know anything about um, punishment, or doesn't know anything about negativity in that sense. But what it does know is how to use everything that we create, or everything that we make, even those things that are not serving us. The spirit knows how to orchestrate in our lives, in our relationships, in our pains, in our suffering, in our disappointments, in our misunderstanding, in our ignorance. The spirit knows how to take any situation and circumstance and work it for our good. And our good is for our learning.
Yes.
Because see,
and that's how we can be grateful in all things.
Grateful in all things, right?
That says that for us to be grateful in all things. It's not that we're being grateful for
all things.
It means that we can be grateful in all things, because when we learn a lesson, when we develop a skill that we did not have
out of a result
prior to some painful situation happening, then there is that can be a blessing to us.
Right. That can be a blessing.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and finish up tonight. I like to just say one more thing before we go. And I think this is going to help us next week. And this one scriptural references I love to use. And it says, grace and peace is multiplied unto us through the knowledge, or through knowing. Mm-hmm. So it is through our knowing, or our expanded awareness, or expanded consciousness, that grace and peace is multiplied to us. In other words, it becomes a direct experience in our life, that we come to understand, and we come to know, that we come to experience peace through the knowledge or through the knowing. And that knowing could be in anything that we endeavor, anything that we need to know. It's just like a mother for the first time when they have that first child. It's like instinctively what grace and peace is multiplied to that first that that new parent. Why? Because they need to know that now. Because they have this child they got to nurture, and it's like almost like the floodgate of knowing parenting and mentoring all of a sudden becomes natural to that mother. Why? Grace and peace is being multiplied. What? Through the knowledge or through the knowing, through the direct experience. And so we're going to stop it right there. That's a good place to stop. But we're just beginning this
Well,
conversation.
that scripture is that scriptural reference is Second Peter
2 Peter
1
1,
verse 20.
verse 20. And there's several greetings on, I think, a few other books in the New Testament that use that grace and peace.
Well, I was talking about the one
Right.
that you said through
Right.
the knowledge.
Notice now it's
that one.
multiplied.
Yes.
Grace and peace is multiplied through the knowledge, through the knowing, and through the learning. And so we want to learn. We are designed to learn. We are designed to always be on our growing edge as we teach here on Truly Live. And so we're going to put a pin in it right there. Thank you so much for being patient with us. I know we went just a little over our time, but it is this next week we'll get into the inner work that this is all pointing us to, what we call the inner work of the heart, and where we come to know what we call or to discover our true self or the real you. And again, the question is, how long will we postpone what is inevitable? The real you awaits our attention.
Yes.
All right. So with that, we are going to move towards our closing segments. You've been a beautiful audience. Thank you so much. And also like to remind everyone that, again, we're here on Thursday nights. In the next couple of months, we have some guests lined up that's going to be with us. And so we want you to make sure that you're with us. And
See, it was Second Peter 1 verse 2.
yes,
I wanted to make certain that we had the correct.
there you go.
Yeah.
But so we want you to be with us. We got guests that's going to be with us. We got a surprise guest coming in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We have surprise guests that's going to be on the show with us live and in color. Oh my God. And we also got Ephraim Daniels going to be with us in July. Ephraim going to be with us in July. Ephraim is one of the directors of the musical project, a tribute to the General, which is where the music that we use for Truly Live has come from. He's going to be with us. We're going to have a good time with that. We got a few other things that are coming down the pipe. So thank you so much. We look forward to this new space on Thursday night. What do you think? I think we roll with it a little bit,
Well, you ran over, so
But just think
of taking some liberties on Thursday.
Hey, well, think about it. We got our Fridays back.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So when we travel, we don't have to leave out of here so late.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
All right. So we appreciate you guys being with us. Carol and Bob say, have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Yes, Carol and Bob, we thank you so much for that. And we thank you guys for joining with us. And we like to do a blessing
yes,
with each of our programs. We use the Dalai Lama's loving kindness meditation as a blessing. So we bless all who have joined with us and those that you hold near and dear in your heart.
Yes. So what we say in this blessing is, may you be truly happy.
May you live in peace.
May you live in love.
May you know the power of forgiveness.
May you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and good purpose.
That's the Dalai Lama. And Oliver and I add, may you live in the awareness of who you truly are. We extend this blessing to every being on the planet. And so it is.
And so it is. And this is the way we wrap up episode 45 of Truly Live. My name is Oliver.
I'm Yolanda.
And we are
The OK Blues.
Bye bye.
I know I have not always been what you want me to be. Even at times I pushed your sweet love away, but you stay right here beside me, never letting me go. Now I know the love I needed was right here all along. I know that love to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to remove all you can change. Love is enough to make up for what took from me. I know that love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough.